morning. Welcome to the 5th annual ASC Connect conference. I'm Stan Magidson, Chair and Chief Executive Officer of the Alberta Securities Commission. Thank you for joining us today as we explore our theme, for every challenge, there is opportunity. Last year was our first year using a virtual platform for ASC Connect, and we are so pleased that you can participate from wherever you feel most comfortable. We are also happy to welcome Albertans and other Canadians from a variety of industries and communities. I am certain you will gain insights and valuable information from the conversations today. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the traditional territories of the Indigenous peoples of the Treaty 7 region and Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. We respect the histories, languages, and cultures of First Nations, Métis, Inuit, and all First Peoples of Canada whose presence continues to enrich our community. In the past year, Alberta's capital market was not spared from the significant challenges that affected communities worldwide. Our capital market had already seen exceptional change in the previous few years, and the global pandemic presented Albertans, Alberta businesses, and our economy as a whole with unprecedented challenges. In delivering our strategic plan, the Alberta Securities Commission remains steadfast in our commitment to intelligent and forward-looking regulation and to seeking opportunities for growth. Our mission is to foster a fair and efficient capital market and to protect investors. And our three strategic pillars that guide our priorities to 2023 include delivering intelligent regulation aimed at fostering a thriving capital market, proactive and comprehensive compliance oversight, enforcement and education, and fostering a culture of engagement. I believe that when we are tested during times of stress, it's best to ask, how can we help our community? And looking back, I am proud to say that over the last year, all of the hardworking and dedicated staff, advisory committee members, and our commission members at the ASC stepped up and found ways to assist within our mandate. We asked questions and listened to what our stakeholders needed. We protected our employees, supported our market, and delivered on the commitments of the first year of our 3-year strategy. While there were many challenges, we strive to see and embrace the opportunities within each. Unfortunately, our province is not out of the woods yet, and the COVID-19 pandemic continues to affect our market. However, I believe we are weathering this storm together. Today, we are focused on what is important for all of us: strengthening our capital market and rebuilding our economy. Moreover, every one of us on this call have an opportunity to contribute in our own way. By facilitating this conversation, our hope is that you take your insights from today and leverage your own skills and energy to make a difference. I am delighted that we have some of Alberta's brightest minds engaging with us in conversation today. They are truly the best people to shed light on Alberta's opportunities. We'll kick off with remarks from the Honourable Toews, Minister of Finance. We will then transition to our first panel discussion about the opportunities in energy with 3 thought leaders who have deep and diverse experience. They will share their perspectives on how Alberta can support the federal government's path to zero emissions and how environment, social, and governance considerations already play a role in what our energy companies are doing. We'll then take a break and move into our second panel discussion about how Alberta can foster capital formation and diversification through private and public financing. And after one more short break, our last conversation will be one that I will have with two leaders who have built successful investment firms. We'll discuss our opportunities to advance the investment and fund management sector. My plan is to wrap up our time together with a few closing remarks and send you on your way by noon. But quickly, just before we get things rolling, I wanted to mention that we strongly encourage your input and interaction during the panel session. Please do pose your questions through the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. With that said, let's get started. I'm very pleased to introduce our opening speaker, the Honourable Travis Toews, President of Treasury Board and Minister of Finance.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to help kick off what I expect will be a productive and thought-provoking day. This event is a great opportunity for industry professionals and the Alberta Securities Commission to come together and discuss the issues affecting capital markets, both in Alberta and worldwide. And it's an opportunity to have frank discussions about how we can work together to keep our capital market dynamic, responsive, and competitive. Although our province has seen challenges over the past 18 months with the collapse in oil prices, the COVID-19 pandemic, and a global recession, Alberta's economy is well into a diversified recovery and is providing a range of investment opportunities. We've been very focused on improving the competitiveness of our business environment, and we now have an incredible value proposition that is attracting interest and investment from across Canada and around the world. We have by far the lowest business tax rates in Canada, rates that rank with the lowest in North America. And we have a much improved and modernized regulatory environment, and one that's undergoing continual improvement. The ASC, for example, has consolidated and eliminated 2 local rules and reduced its regulation count by over 2,000 items. In its last annual report card, the Canadian Federation of Independent Business awarded Alberta an A for success in reducing red tape, recognizing Alberta as the most improved province in Canada. Alberta also has a world-class commercial space, very modestly priced, and that space is located in Edmonton and Calgary, and really at many other locations across the province. And we have very reasonable housing costs and a low cost of living generally. We're young and well-educated with exceptional colleges and universities, and we have some of the most livable cities in the world and a quality of life that's second to none. To support diversification and innovation, we developed the Innovation Employment Grant, structured in a way that encourages growth. And to help make Alberta even more attractive and an excellent place to set up shop, the government has recently launched a new service for the financial services sector. The new Financial Services Concierge is working in tandem with Invest Alberta to help companies navigate Alberta's rules, regulations, and legislation. The concierge service was created for financial service providers and emerging financial technology companies to streamline the experience of building and expanding a business here by dealing with one government contact versus multiple departments. There's considerable opportunity for growth in Alberta's financial services sector, which we know will be supported by this innovative service. Other actions under Alberta's recovery plan are serving to build on our strengths while also ensuring our workforce is ready for the future. For example, the government is exploring implementing new and improved jobs training and reskilling initiatives to help workers take on new opportunities in a diverse economy. Our agriculture and energy strategies are building on Alberta's strong foundation as a responsible and innovative energy leader and a major global source of high-quality agriculture and forestry products. While we're laser-focused on making the province a better place to invest, work, and do business, we're also making it a better place to live. Strategic infrastructure projects will improve business productivity and competitiveness and will improve life in our communities. We're expanding irrigation infrastructure, twinning highways, building new schools, upgrading post-secondary learning spaces, and much more, so families, businesses, and communities can grow. And Alberta's economy is growing, and our plan is working. The Conference Board of Canada and many of the country's largest banks are projecting Alberta to lead the nation in economic growth this year. According to the government's current forecast, Alberta's economy, as measured by real GDP, will rebound by 6.7% in 2021. That's nearly 40% higher than forecasted in February's budget. The global demand for oil is high, meaning oil prices are stronger than expected, and other indicators of economic activity are also showing a strong rebound. As of the first quarter fiscal update, international goods exports and manufacturing shipments have risen more than 25% this year, and they're exceeding pre-pandemic levels. While energy products are at the forefront of these gains, there have been solid increases in shipments of food manufacturing products and chemical and forestry products. Consumer spending and housing activity are also contributing to the growth. My government colleagues and I are working hard to attract investment that generates wealth in Alberta, and so far this year, the economy is exceeding expectations. After dropping last year, investment in oil and gas is forecast to grow by 22% to reach nearly $20 billion this year. The oil and gas industry is a key driver of the province, and the recent completion of Enbridge's Line 3 replacement is an incredibly positive development. We will continue to fight for all projects that help bring our energy products to market because we owe it to Albertans to get full value for our resources. Alberta's oil sands and energy industry broadly have a path to a bright future ahead, a productive, high-tech, low-emissions future. Global petroleum demand is outstripping supply as the world economy improves. And we know that demand will continue, and Alberta's energy, some of the most responsible on the planet, will be in demand for decades to come. In fact, the premature flight of capital out of the energy industry globally is contributing to an emerging energy crisis, and I would add very material returns for capital that remains in the sector. At the same time, the province is steadily becoming more diversified as non-energy investment is expected to lead the recovery in overall business investment in the coming years. Recent announcements of new hydrogen refinery from Imperial Oil and a joint hydrogen facility from Mitsubishi and Shell will solidify our position as a global leader in hydrogen development. In addition, Dow has announced intentions to build the world's first net-zero ethylene cracking facility in Fort Saskatchewan, which could constitute a multi-billion-dollar investment in our economy and huge job opportunities in both the construction and operating phases. On top of this, the province's tech sector is booming as major players like Emphasis and Infosys are moving here and creating hundreds of jobs in the process. RBC announced their plans this summer to hire 300 people over the next 3 years at their new innovation hub in Calgary. Calgary and Edmonton are on track to break their venture capital records after setting new records in 2020. And these economic developments are improving Alberta's bottom line. As of the first quarter fiscal update, Alberta is projecting a $10.5 billion improvement to the estimate in Budget 2021. This is a result of almost all of Alberta's revenue sources exceeding expectations. We've seen increased investment income from the Alberta Heritage Savings Trust Fund. This is in addition to boosted revenue from non-renewable resources and income taxes, with more Albertans getting back to work and businesses returning to profitability. At the same time, our fiscal plan is protecting Albertans from the financial impacts of COVID-19. We're providing the highest level of funding ever to Alberta Health this year to ensure adequate supports as we continue to face the pandemic. And it's important to note that to date, even in this difficult fourth wave, we've not had to transfer any patients out of province. The budget also includes contingencies to help cover the uncertain and ever-changing costs of the pandemic and economic recovery. This prudent approach gives the province the flexibility we need to account for unknowns and address emerging priorities without delay. Indeed, the pandemic and other economic pressures have shown us that things can change rapidly. And with this in mind, the government is steadfastly committed to 3 fiscal anchors to guide decision-making. First, the government is keeping Alberta's net debt well below 30% of its GDP. As of the first quarter fiscal update, our ratio will be an estimated 19.6% at the end of this fiscal year, which is much lower than most other provinces. Second, the government will bring Alberta's per capita cost of delivering government services in line with comparative provinces. And third, we will set a clear time frame for getting back to balance once the pandemic is over and there is more clarity around the long-term global impacts. In conclusion, we will continue our efforts to make government more cost-effective, position the province for investment attraction, and get Albertans back to work. As the global economy continues to recover, companies will begin to make more investment decisions, and we will make certain that Alberta is a destination of choice. The stage has been set for broad economic recovery and growth, and Alberta is strengthening its position as a leader in Canada and North America. Now, I would like to express my appreciation to all of you for attending ASC Connect and being a part of our capital market. Thank you.